So Lilith says, how do you work out timing with tarot? So Lilith says, predictive timing might be more apt to your question. Okay, so you want to know when things are going to happen. So timing. So what I will say about this, I don't read that way, but if you do read that way or you want to read that way, what you can do is create a system for yourself. And so we can do that on the fly real quick. So we could say we have 4 suits to work with. We also have majors and stuff, but we have 4 suits to work with, right? So we could have, let's think about the energy of the suits. Wands would be fastest. Would we agree? Cups, I would say it would go like this. Wands, swords, cups, pentacles in order as far as speed. So wands being the fastest, then swords, then cups, then pentacles being the slowest. So if we want days, weeks, months, years, now we have, and I'm just doing this on the fly, y'all, but let's say we have wands for days. We have swords for weeks. We have cups for months. We have pentacles for years. Okay, so let's come up with a basic method for this. So now we have an idea of how we can figure out what measure of time we're working with: wands, swords, cups, or pentacles. We obviously have numbers in all of the cards, so we can use that just for pips. So one simple thing, let's say I'm trying to find out, okay, when am I going to finally feel like I've got my shit together? Cards are going to be like, never. Okay, so the first pip card I draw that has a number will be the number, and the second pip card I draw will be the measure of time. This is a really easy way to do it. And I'm just asking a silly question because, again, I don't really read this way. So when will I finally feel like I have my shit together? Okay, so I've shuffled and split the deck, and here's what I would do. This is kind of more a significator style reading, but I would flip until I get my first non-major, non-court numbered pip. Okay, 2. Cool, 2. All right, and then the next numbered pip I get is going to tell us the measure of time. So it's 2. What did I say cups was? Months. 2 months. In 2 months, I'm going to feel like I have my shit together. What month is that? Because I really need to like write that down. I'm just curious. Now I'm curious. Okay, so it's November, so January. So we'll say by around mid-January. Is it mid? I guess it's kind of mid. Mid-January. I'm going to write this down. I'll feel like I have my shit together. This is possible because I'm working on a project that I would like to finish before then. And if I can finish that and get that off my plate and start working on Sassy Pam, I feel like I will start to feel like I have my shit together. Barb says, question, when will I finally have my shit together? Cards might be easier to tell you when you're going to get a unicorn. I know, right? Legit. Yeah. So that is the vibe. So it's simple, but you just create a system for yourself. It's literally just like that. Now, let's say you have that system and you've done a reading. Let's just do we'll lay out a 6 card. I'm not going to try to interpret the whole thing, but let's say the question is around, well, let's just stick with me getting my shit together and see if we get a different answer. All right. I'm feeling a little bit like I've got so much on my plate and I can't focus on any one thing, and I don't know when I'm ever going to feel like I'm finally on top of things. I probably won't because I'm a perfectionist, but whatever. We're just going to play with it. Okay, so we have the Page of Cups, and the Magician is looking at the Page of Cups like, oh, you're cute. I love Marseille for this. Okay, and then we have the, I can't, 7 of Pentacles. And is there numbers printed on these? Yeah, the 10 of Swords underneath the Page of Cups. Oh, and then we have the 9 of Swords underneath the Magician. And then we have the Empress. Okay. So now I know the order I laid these in. So I could give myself this whole reading and then use that same system layered over top. So I could tell myself, why pull 2 pip cards instead of 1? Well, I'll explain in a second. Okay, so I could tell myself, okay, well then the first card is my number and the second card is my time frame, right? But yeah, you could totally just pull 1. I'm doing this on the fly. I think I wanted to pull 2 because what I was thinking in the beginning is, I don't know why. I guess that's just what made sense in my brain at that moment. Because yeah, you could totally just do the first one. And in which case, what was the first one that I had gotten before? The 2 of Wands? That would say that I would feel like I have my shit together in 2 days. And I don't know, but that just doesn't feel right. No, I literally don't know. But like, let's say you've done a whole spread and now you're looking for the timing. Well, you could go, you could look at this because this is in the future as being your timing card. And you could go, okay, well, whatever numbered pip is in the future, I'm going to take that as my timing card. And so now I'm going to have 7 years. So in 7 years, I'm going to feel like I got my shit together. Or you could go, this is my number and then this is my thing. So that's 7 days, or excuse me, 7 weeks, because we use weeks for swords. Okay, the punchline of this, so that we don't get too in the weeds with it, I'll say this. The punchline of this is that if you want to work timing into your spread or into your reading style or in the way that you look at cards, then you just need to decide what it means. Like maybe there's a certain type of card that when you see it means that there is a timing answer in your spread. Let's play with that for a second. So let's say you want to do a reading for yourself and you the system you devise, if you're going to incorporate something into it, the punchline is you need to be consistent. So that means that that becomes something that you always recognize. An example of this is for some people, they use court cards to represent other people. But if the court card is reversed, it means it's an aspect of themselves. That's one example. But that becomes now something that you incorporate into your practice. For example, one rule I kind of have for myself is that there's always a layered trajectory element of a timeline when I lay cards in a row. If I lay 3 cards in a row, if I lay 10 cards in a row, it doesn't matter. But when I'm looking from left to right, I'm reading them like a book, past, present, future to a degree, or today, tomorrow, the next day, or there's always a forward movement of time when I lay a row of cards. That is kind of like something that I've baked into my reading style. So if you want to bake timing into your reading style, you just need to come up with some criteria. So for example, let's say that if you see a court card in your reading, it means there is timing on the table. Or maybe if there's a court and 1 pip, then you know that there is a timing question being answered. Maybe the court tells you how that time moves in a way, and then the numbered pip tells you roughly what the timing is. Let me see if I can explain what I mean. Okay, so let's say you're single and you're like, man, I am sick of being single. I want to do a reading on my love life. Like, what do I need to know about my love life right now? Just generally, what do I need to know? And so I pull 3 cards. I'm going to just cut it in a different place because that cut felt weird. Okay, so I've pulled 3 cards. Is that one of my bonuses? It is. So I'm going to pull that out because that's not helpful right now. Okay, so this 3 cards has 2 pip cards and a major. There's no court card. That means that timing is not being given to me in this reading, but I am going to get to read these cards and learn an answer to my question. Okay, let's do another 3. So now, again, we have the tower. That's super fun. And again, majors and a pip. So we can read these cards about how my love life is going, but I'm not getting any timing. Now we have, okay. We have 2 court cards and a pip. So based on the system I just said, that I just like made up in my head, okay? Now we have the Knight of Wands and the Knight of Pentacles, right? And they're both looking towards this 4 of Cups. So now, of course, I'm going to read the spread. I'm going to interpret it. And then I'm going to go, okay, well, I've got 2 court cards and I've got a pip. So we know timing is being addressed. So we're looking at a period of time of about 4 months. And these are both a fast moving and a slow moving court card. So now I'm like, okay, maybe it's going to feel like that 4 months is going to go by quickly. Maybe it's going to feel like it's going to go by slowly. Maybe it's going to feel like first that I'm going to get there like tomorrow. Maybe I'm like dating somebody right now and it feels like we're making progress. And then it's going to all come to a screeching halt and then everything's going to drag until I get to that 4-month period. So I guess what I'm saying, like with 2 core cards, it definitely complicated it. But like, let's say we only had 1. 4 months, it's going to feel a little bit slow, right? It's going to feel extra, extra slow. Are you guys following what I'm saying? But I'm making this up. And that's the punchline. That's the point of all of this. You can make it up. But once you make it up, then you need to start incorporating it in every reading. So let's say I did a reading about work and I'm like, man, I feel so busy. I really want my work to feel like it's more structured. What do I need to know about how to approach my work? And then I pull a few cards. All right, so now I have 2 pip cards and I have my Page of Swords. Now to keep it simple, these are the questions. This is why you want to experiment with this. You can figure out if the system works, right? So now I've got 1 court card and 2 pips. So maybe one of the things I need to kind of think about with myself is like, what's my rule going to be? That the first pip that follows the court card is my timing? That makes sense to me because if the court card is going to signal timing, then the first card after is going to be the answer to the timing question. So I would interpret my 3 cards, Page of Swords. What card is that? 9 of Swords, and then the 10 of Cups. So I can answer the question. And then I've got the Page of Swords interacting with a Pip Swords card. And now we have a matter of weeks. We've got 9 weeks. Page of Swords plus 9 weeks. How would the Page of Swords get through 9 weeks, right? They might be using those 9 weeks to learn. So they're using that time to learn and move toward that goal. So they're taking in new information, they're asking questions, they're being curious about their work, like whatever. So do you see kind of how you can layer it all together and you can kind of create this collage of information for yourself? That's kind of what I'm describing here. So that seems like a really simple method you could use. You could say whatever, because there's 16 court cards. So it's not like going to come up in every single reading if you're doing just a few cards necessarily. But now you've got a system. So when a court card comes up, that means you're going to have a timing information on the table. And the first card you draw past that court card is the answer to the timing question. But yeah, exactly what Stardust said. You make the rules, but you got to live by them. What I find challenging is if you make divination kind of rules or systems for yourself, but then you kind of use them sometimes and sometimes not, it's going to feel loosey-goosey because you're being loosey-goosey about it. But if you create a system and then you stick with that system, then you can find out over time, number one, is the system useful? And if it is, you keep doing it. And if it's not, you stop. For example, I started incorporating directionality into my readings after studying Marseille. Because with Marseille, there's so many things you can determine by the eye contact, by what is somebody looking at? Like our Empress is facing forward, but she's looking to this card. There's so many fun directional things. And once I saw that by studying Marseille Tarot and working with Pip decks, I couldn't unsee it. It became incorporated into the way I read. And now it's just something that I do. I often look at, our characters facing? Are they looking away from each other? What are they looking at? What are they pointed toward? What are they heading in the direction of? And that just became part of my system because it was useful. So I kept doing it. And that's kind of the thing. I think a lot of times and I say this a lot in these troubleshooting the tarots, is that one of the best things you can do for your divination practice, if you're reading for yourself or others, is to give yourself permission to build yourself into your reading style and reading practice. What feels right? What feels like it gives you good information or useful information, and then go from there. But yeah, give yourself lots of permission to play.